Nearly half of the human population is living in cities nowadays. Do you know how much land is required to feed all these people? It's a lot. If you would add it up, it's around 27 times the area of Malaysia. But don't miss the fact that you need around double of the area to feed the whole Earth. But sadly, only half of the Earth's surface is usable for producing food. Due to the fact that the world population is going to rise to 9 billion in the next 40 years, people, especially in the cities, have to think about new techniques to grow food. And of course, to raise the awareness of the population about this problem. One potential technique is urban farming.
Good morning. We're today in urban Hijau. It's a place where they're doing urban farming in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. What is urban farming? Urban farming is the process of growing plants of all types and varieties in an urban environment. Urban farming is also known as urban gardening or urban agriculture. There are several types of urban farming.
One of the types are container gardening or container farming. It is common for people with small patios, yards or balconies. The plants grow in various containers. The other type is indoor gardening or indoor farming. It is when no patios, stacks, yards or balconies are available and the plants can grow in indoor greenhouses or solarium. Another type is the community gardening or community farming. This is a method of using outdoor public or private space to cultivate gardens for food or pleasure as a group. Last type are the green roofs. These are roofs which are designed for a garden.
To show you one successful example of sustainable farming in Kuala Lumpur, we were lucky to meet Saqib Shahik. He is responsible for the event management and business development of Urban Hijau.
The idea is that we want to be a sort of showcase for sustainable farming, urban farming, permaculture, which is close to our hearts. Permaculture is sort of a sustainable design methodology, and it's used in many different parts of the world to shape lands and different sites so that you use a minimal amount of resources and that you have a system that's perpetual, that doesn't need to, that can keep growing itself. The idea with this site is that we want to make it publicly accessible. Even though we're a social enterprise, everything we try and earn, we try and reinvest back in the farm. So, for example, we sell our produce to the public. So whatever we earn, we try and reinvest to keep everything going. I can show you around the site a bit. It's half-acre plot. It used to be a housing plot. And actually, our enterprise, we rent it from the owner. Okay, so this is the base of the land. You may see from the ground is a bit mulchy. It's actually, this is wood chips that we get donated to us from the municipal council. For them, in a way, it's kind of waste. But for us, it's sort of gold because it helps fertilize the soil. And especially down here, because a year or so ago, this was all dust. And we slowly started developing it. So now actually we have these three, what they call mandala gardens. Mandala is sort of a spiral design. And the idea is that you can walk in and out of the garden. It makes it much easier to harvest the different things. Right now we've actually harvested quite a bit, so that's why we're in the middle of planting new items on the land. But I can tell you what we have so far. So, yeah, that's roselle. This is basil. That's corn. Corn, you won't see many people growing in this climate, but we grow it quite well actually, thank God. And here you have two types of spinach. This is the normal one. That's Indian spinach. And spinach is a pretty consistent sort of seller for us. We try and grow things that we think people in the local area would like. This is a compost station. And so like I mentioned, we mix a certain degree of browns and greens, carbon-based sticks and dead leaves with greens, which are live sort of petals and leaves. We mix them together. We add some maybe dung and some water, and we sort of heat it up and after a few weeks it becomes good compost, it decomposes, and then we put it on the soil.
Do you also use other fertilizers?
We try not to use, we try to keep it organic, not use any chemical agro fertilizers, because we want to promote a healthy way of cooking and a healthy way of eating. So that's one of the things about the farm. What we say is it's chemical free. We don't put any herbicides, pesticides, or fungicides on it. So the idea of permaculture also is that they promote polyculture, not growing one type of thing. You know, that like I'm sure when you landed in Malaysia, you probably saw rows and rows of palm oil plantations. So we don't really encourage that. We want to grow companion plants that sort of help each other, and we want to have a diversity, and we want to use every bit of area that we have on the land. So it's a lot of work, but that's the idea. This tall grass that you see on the front here, right? This is it's called vertebrate grass. The idea is that it grips the soil and it goes pretty deep, and it's very hard to dislodge. So it helps. You may see on the edges of the slopes, we grow that so that the soil doesn't fall down. So we want to promote a bit of recycling of used items rather than waste, because that's something in the principles of permaculture. So this, for example, was used roof tiles. That was bamboo. And then this is water bottles that we filled with sand.
I also read that you have some activities.
Oh, yes.
It's also for like children groups. And
yes, we do. Like, for example, actually on Thursday and Friday, we had school kids come. So we have a half-day program where we show them around the site. And in a very basic way, we try and tell them how plants work. You know, that you need water, you need soil, you need sunlight, what goes into making good soil, right? How plants help each other. And we want them to appreciate where the food comes from, that there's a lot of effort that's required to make your meals all scrumptious and everything. We don't want them to take it for granted that food comes from a department store. This is our fish pond. We don't really eat the fish, it's more just for show. And then different items that we go on the land, we just feed them to the fish. But it sort of creates a very nice stress sort of thing.
Okay. Can you also use like products of the fish?
Yes.
To fertilize?
Yes, because the fish poos in the water, right? And then the water becomes good content for the rest. So we take the water from here and we use it to fertilize the rest of the base of the land. These are mangoes. We're trying to protect them from being eaten alive by all the pests. One of the consistent pests that we have is snails, and we don't want to use chemical sort of pesticides. So it's not that easy to manage them.
And what are your future plans?
We want to expand. So you see all this area, we can do a lot with it. I want to build like a structure here, which can be a rest area for people. Have more activities here, like I said, a seed nursery, maybe a workshop area, a tool shed. These are all things that we can do. And to have solar panels on top there, so that can power our motor for the fish pond. It'd be good to have a rainwater harvesting system, so that all the water, we don't have to use the main water supply. The whole thing is meant to be a showcase. It's not for any one person in particular, it's meant for the community to benefit from.